Well, good morning there. I know it's been a while. I'm glad you're all here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me before we switch over. Let me know if you can hear me, if we're loud and clear. And if you need IT consulting, if you're bored, if you want to talk, williehowe.com. As long as the request is legitimate, I respond or someone responds to all of the inquiries. Somebody let me know in the comments if we're good. All right, Cody, we're all good. We're good. We're good. I like that, Alonzo. We're good. All right. So good morning. Good morning. It is October 8th, 2022. It's been a minute since we did a stream. We've been, James and Tim and I, we've been extremely busy, both in consulting here and in our other professional lives and with our families and things like that. Heading into Q4, we've got 5 phone systems so far that we're working on, and then a bunch of break fix stuff that people have contacted us for. So, all right, let's go over to the comments real quick. Dennis Pillow. Dennis, I'm glad you're feeling well enough this morning to join us. And Cody is here. Jim, the IT guy, good morning. Tech for fun. Love me some Willie. That's fantastic. Good morning. Good morning. Bruce, good morning. Sean, Alonzo, Dave Robertson, good morning. Brian, good morning. Ryan, good morning. Jack, good morning. CH, No Logics, Michael Cooper, Iron Fist, good morning, everybody. All right, if you're here, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. We're going to talk about a few things today. Admin Engineer, good morning. First, I really like coffee. I know some people who don't drink coffee because it tastes like burnt beans, and that's exactly what it is. Good morning. Unky Joe is in the house. We'll see if we can get the rest of the... Oh, Tech for Fun is Joe from Cajoling. It's his new identity. So, Joe, welcome. I don't know. Are you going to open another YouTube channel? Pi Wozniak, good morning. Hamster MC, good morning. Jack. Now we're just missing Tony. Good morning. Sweden is in the house. Sweden represented. Okay. So if you don't like coffee, I'm sorry. I really like coffee. And, but I'm pretty particular. I don't know if the rest of you are particular about your coffee or not. I'm pretty particular. I don't like a coffee that's overly acidic. You know, you take a cup of, you'll take a drink and you're like, ooh, there is something wrong. Like, is it the water quality? Is it, did somebody burn the carafe and then just make a new pot in that, which happens a lot, the communal coffee pots, because nobody wants to take responsibility for the coffee, whatever. But, yeah, I like a really nice, smooth, just straight up black cup of coffee. You can see that or not, but no, very rarely do I add anything to my coffee. So, all right. So Joe says, nah, just doing tech for fun. No more YouTube channel. So, and Joe, I want to publicly thank you. Joe is, I have an intern. Her name is Christina, and she's smart. She is super smart, and she learns very, very quickly. And so she is getting to she just was at a job fair a couple weeks ago, and she ran into a couple companies, and one of them was like, hey, you should become like cloud certified, like AWS. And I'm like, oh, hey, I happen to know somebody who is an expert in that. And so I hooked Christina up with Joe, and Joe is going to mentor her through the Amazon certifications. And Joe, I owe you a second steak for that, my friend. We will get together here soon. 2023 should be the year that we get together and get that steak, unless you for some reason want to travel to Illinois now that it's starting to get stinking cold. But we'll work something out. But Joe, I am definitely forever grateful for you for mentoring Christina through those Amazon certifications. I don't think there's anybody better to do it. And it is damn good to see you too, buddy. All right. Bruce says, just deployed a Grandstream WP825. So far it works great. Is that the ruggedized one? I can't remember. So I've been assured by Grandstream. If you didn't know, they have Ethernet switches coming. Grandstream switches coming soon. So now Grandstream is going to have the full stack. The only thing that they are missing is an NVR. Not an NVR. Yeah, they killed their NVR. They have an NVR software that runs on Windows. That's the Achilles heel of it. I keep saying that. And what I want them to do is I want them to partner with one of the existing NAS companies. And what I want them to do is have everything. I want to be able to do Grandstream on a pallet, ship me everything, right? But I don't want them to necessarily support the NAS. I want them to just OEM it, right? So like Synology or not Cooler Master. I can't remember the one that looks like Cooler Master or QNAP. I don't care who you go to, but let's slap a Grandstream logo on it and ship me absolutely everything that I need and be done with it. Oh, Cody says the Eero stuff looks, it's funny that you say that because I actually have that tab preloaded. I don't know if James is on. I don't know if James is on the stream. He pinged me to ask if I was going to be streaming. But last week when Amazon, if you weren't aware, they had this great big huge technology day where they released all of their hardware that's coming out, and How to Geek released an article, and we're going to look at it here in just a minute. I actually have that and one other tab, but in the short term, videos that are coming, I will be finishing my Grandstream GWN 7664 video. I had somebody who was asking me, should I switch to Grandstream APs? Should I upgrade to Ubiquity? And I said, look, I think that the Grandstream APs are definitely worth a look. So this person went and they reached out to me on Twitter, by the way. So he went and he bought GWN 7664s. About a week later, I get a DM from this person, and they're like, I can't believe how good the Wi-Fi works. And, and so I said, hey, can I share this message? So when I do my GWN 7664 video, I'm going to share that, because if James is here, James can attest to that. Every time we do Grandstream APs, people go nuts for how well they work and how stable they are, and there's usually little to no issues. So that video is coming, plus another special video over there. But if you all also are subscribed to Chris over at Crosstalk, you'll know he already did a video on this. He didn't really do like a setup video or anything like that, but this is the QNAP Koi Box 100W, and it is a dedicated presentation platform. So what happens is you connect to this, and then people in the same room can actually connect directly to this box in a web browser and watch your presentation, right? So if you're in a large room, it's very advantageous. So I'm going to do a quick video on this. This doesn't have any security vulnerabilities, so that I know of. So there's that. That's coming. Hopefully I'll get that out here soon. All right, let's go over to the comments real quick. Anyone not doing switches now, says Jim the IT guy. Dennis says, can we discuss the supply chain and availability of products? I've been attempting to buy MikroTik products to install my new AT&T 5 gig fiber connection. Yeah, supply chain is a real mother right now for a lot of things. Tech for Fun, aka Joe, says, I finished setting up my Synology to use SMB to back up my Unraid every night. Works great. Yeah, it does work really, really great. Jack says, Grandstream previewed their new switches on their latest tech video on YouTube. Yeah, they did, and I was trying to think of that. However, there is a distributor called NTS Direct. Now, I need to get hooked up with them so that I have diversity in my offerings to folks for distributors. they still have listed the price that those switches are going to be. And you can't believe how inexpensive those switches are going to be. So if you go out to the NTS Direct website, you will see the pricing for those switches. And when you see it, you're going to be like, what? And they're all going to be able to be managed via the new routers, GWN.cloud, GWN Manager. And so it's going to be fantastic. They're going to have that single pane of glass that everybody wants. So, and I have they are sending me their new in-wall AP. They are sending me the new routers. So you're going to see those videos here pretty soon too. The missing piece is that switch, right, for that full stack. So, because, yeah, I'm very, very excited about the switches. I keep pushing my contact over there, and I think he understands how excited, not only me, but how excited everybody is for those Ethernet switches. So there's 49 of you on the stream. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, that like button. All right. Yeah, Jim, the IT guy, says QNAP, you'll upset the masses. Yeah, I know. You know, and I keep telling my media guy over there, you know, and they've sent me a few things, and every time I go to release a video, there's a huge headline about QNAP security, and I'm like, he knows that is I think that's why they sent the Koi box instead of another NAS, but they do have, I'm more interested in their networking gear at the moment, and especially this new QNAP has this new like network scanner. If you haven't seen it, we'll pull it up as well, but let's go. Let's see here. QNAP.com. Joe says, I tried to go to 10 gig and failed. Realized the Unify aggregation can't do auto negotiate to 2 or 5 gig. I returned it. Yes, that is correct. It is not multi-gig switch. I've got another video, and Cody and I were talking about doing a collab on this. I've been talking with Ingenious because I've got some kind of issues with this, but this is the Ingenious. This is a 2.5 gig. It's the ECS 2512. They sent me a non-PoE switch, and then when I emailed about it yesterday, they're like, oh yeah, but we sent you a power brick. I'm like, oh, okay. So you'll see that as well. Jack says, waiting for a rack-mounted Grandstream router. Pipe dream? No, I don't think so. I think you should keep telling your distributors what you want to see, right? All right, so the moment you've all been waiting for. That's not the one I want to talk about first. So there's a couple things. So in my Facebook feed, this thing from Baltic Networks popped up. And it's an interesting concept. It's called the Baltic box. So I can take this and I can slide it. And so basically what it is, it's a shipping container. It's got some solar power going on up here. Oh, there's nothing in the van. But when you roll this back, you can see that they're going to have shelves and lighting. And this looks like a Tesla Powerwall right here. Let me zoom in on this. Oh, when I zoom, only the text gets bigger. That's jank. All right, so yeah, it looks, I don't know, is this Ciclu? Is that what this this radio is with this this logo? I can't remember. But what they want to do is if they have enough demand in an area, so I'm actually not that far from Baltic. Baltic is in Lisle, Illinois. I am in Peoria, Illinois. And so I think I'm like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, something like that. I'd love to go up there and get a shopping cart and just walk through. I always thought it for the last 3-4 years, I've had this, I want to do this video where I go and I wear my GoPro and I go in the warehouse and I just push stuff into the cart, right? Like I got a shopping cart and I'm just like rah, rah, pushing the stuff. Anyway, enough of my dreams, my geeky dreams. What this is going to be is if they get enough demand in an area, they are going to put these out and it'll have stock, right? It'll have common stock of hard to find things, accessories, switches, and then you will go and be able to buy your equipment right out of this box. This is a very, very interesting concept. And it says, want a Baltic box near you? No problem. Our locations will be driven by our customer feedback. We want every Baltic box to be located within driving distance of the customer it serves. Well, what's driving distance? Do they consider me to be driving distance to them? You know? And no more managing stock. Our team will manage and restock your Baltic box on a weekly, bi-weekly, or flexible schedule. Box inventory will be managed by our on-demand forecasting platform. So Baltic, you know, they're, when you look at how the distributors and stuff are laid out, they're not like a Streakwave who's like a master distributor. But with some of this stuff going on, it makes me wonder if they're going to hit that next level, and they are going to be, maybe they're trying to go down. Oh yeah. Hey, Bob Carpenter in the house. Bob, is it starting to cool off in Canada? Ryan says, have you been in the new store in the Grand Prairie Mall? Which store is that, Ryan? Yeah, so here in this picture right here, there is actually the Tesla Powerwall. Now, this is a pretty good rendering. Look at this. They got water bottles, or maybe that's Gatorade. Not sure. Looks like they've got Lay's chips. Look at that. Whoever did the graphic rendering on this. Combos. I love combos. That harkens back to when I was like 6. Ritz crackers. I mean, if I scroll in on this, oh, don't go away. It's hilarious because they have it outside of an IKEA. Okay, so this one we can zoom in on, maybe. Okay. So, boy, I really zoomed on this thing. So here's your Tesla Powerwall. Looks like we got some rolls of cable here. Yeah, look at the graphics on this. Like, this is a 3D rendering, and they've got, those are Lay's. I think those are the waffles. Chicken and waffles. Something cheese flavor. Here's your classic. Here's your baked Lay's, Ritz, Breton combos. Oh, man, they are singing my tune. All right, here, this is outside of a Walgreens, a GameStop, and an Adidas. I don't know. I've never been to Lyle. I don't know if this is an actual representation of maybe where they're at. Might have to go check that out. Here, once again, I don't know if this is a reflection of a person on a bike or what. Here's IKEA. Here's CVS. There's a Dunkin' over here. Love me some Dunkin'. Okay, here's a better look inside. Look at the 3D representation. I am blown away, Baltic Networks. And I know you guys probably think this is stupid that I'm getting so excited and geeked out, but look at this. This is the old Unify 8-port 150-watt switch right here. I will bet all of your paychecks that that's what that is. And then look at this. Here is the 60-watt with the 4 ports of PoE. The graphic representation in these drawings is awesome. Awesome. And there's a part of a tower. Here's a non-pen roof mount, which, by the way, non-pen roof mounts are fantastic. Of course, the Tesla Powerwall. So, yeah. So we're going to have to see. And if I get a Baltic box near me, when I find out, I will go visit one if there's one close to me. I promise I will. Okay, so Cody had referred to this earlier. Sorry about that. I just got a notification. Unky Joe looks like he's going live in 30 minutes, so we'll probably, I don't know if we'll be wrapped up by then or not, but I don't want to mess with Unky Joe's stream either. Oh, Ryan Sharp's talking about the store called Ollie's. Yeah. Thanks for the thumbs up. Let's see. Yeah, how many nobody has that many Unify switches in stock. That's, yeah. Yeah, Bob, if you've got blood pressure problems, 3 liters of coffee probably not helping. I'm just messing with you. All right, so here, James sent this to me, and the name of this article is New Eero Wi-Fi Hardware is Ready to Steal Ubiquity's Thunder. And this came out on September 28th. And when we're looking in this little closet, here's a representation. Don't know who makes this switch down here, but look, here's an Eero switch right here. That's actually, if we look at this, it's a gateway. Amazon launched the Eero PoE 6 and the Eero PoE Gateway today. 2 new power over Ethernet devices. So Amazon, and somebody said, do I think that this is going to compete with Unify? You bet. I know ISPs that Eero is what they roll out, right? That is their preferred platform. And so now they have these Eero PoEs. Yeah, look at this. You got 8 ports here. This, I don't know. I'll bet you those are 10 gig copper ports if I had to guess. Maybe not. Maybe those are PoE ports. They got the little, looks like PoE there. But let's see. But yes, I do think this is, yeah, it has 2 10 gig non-PoE ports and 8 2.5 gig ports. I do think that because of how easy Eero is to use, I do think that they are going to compete with Ubiquiti. And I do believe that even if there's a subscription model, that people will pay it, right? People, they buy cameras, they buy all these things, and they really don't have a problem paying a few bucks a month if they're going to be able to get support. And if there is anything that you've ever dealt with Amazon, you know that Amazon's customer support is absolutely out of this world, right? Like one time I ordered a steel ballard. Has everybody heard this story? Do you know what a steel ballard is? Let me real quick pull up Amazon. Let me see here. Let's see. Yeah, so check this out. Steel, I mispronounced Ballard, or misspelled Ballard, so it corrected me. I love it. Love autocorrect. So I once ordered it was probably this one right here, a steel Ballard to mount some equipment on. And one shows up without the plastic top. So let me pull this up here. We'll just go with this one. Yeah, we'll go with this one. I think I paid more at the time. But on the top of these, there's a plastic top. And it's a plastic cap on the top. It keeps the weather out, right? And I ordered 2 of these. One shows up, and it's missing this top piece of plastic. So I call Amazon, and they put me on hold, and the lady comes on. She's like, Mr. Howe, we're sorry. And I said, look, I just want this plastic top. She goes, I'm going to put you on hold, and we're going to try to get this taken care of. She comes back. She goes, Mr. Howe, I have, and this is almost verbatim what she told me. Mr. Howe, I'm so sorry that we shipped this without that piece, but the company that you bought this from, they are going through an acquisition, so I can't get a hold of anybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to return the Ballard at no cost to you, and we're going to ship you a new one. And I said, hold on a second. I said, you're going to ship me an entirely new Ballard. All I need is the piece of plastic that goes on the top. And she goes, don't worry about it. We take care of it. So they send me a return label. So I literally take this Ballard, however you want to pronounce it, to the UPS store with the sticker. And when I walk in, you can tell they immediately hate me. They ship it back the next day in a cardboard box filled with bubble wrap. The new Ballard shows up, and they purposefully shrink wrapped the cap on the top so that we wouldn't be missing it. That's the kind of customer support that Amazon can provide. When you're dealing with Ubiquiti, you have to deal with me, a third party, that charges you for that kind of customer support, right? So there's a huge difference. Now, I would suspect that they are going to get that kind of technical support. So, yeah, so the AP is going to be $300 and the gateway is going to be $650, and they are in that prosumer they're in that prosumer line. Let me see if I can find a link to it. I thought there was one here, because I've been on the Amazon page for this, but I'm not. Let's see. Ubiquity. I'm assuming. Let's see here. Let's see if there's like and customers bought this. I'm not seeing it, but this is that new. But yeah, you can find it. It was on there the other day, unless they've taken it down. But you know, the Eero stuff, it just works. Just works. So, all right. So, over to, let's see. Let's go over to the comments real quick. John says Eero rocks. Unky Joe says Eero rocks. 3 clients with it. It works great. Good little mesh network. Yep. So we'll see. Jim, the IT guy, says license required. So we'll grab some traction and then lose it on renewal. You know, at some point, Ubiquity is going to have to make money on licensing instead of hardware. You can see they're already starting to build it out and put it out there with UID. So we'll see. I mean, at some point, people are going to stop replacing their hardware while it works, right? Yeah, John says Eero never failed me with my clients. Bob says I got the 6E Eero for my father-in-law for his small condo. It's pretty impressive. Good morning, Tony. The entire pack is here. The Nat pack is in the house. Eero feels really hot. You know what? Yeah, a lot of that gear runs really, really hot. Morning, Brian. Let's see. Brian. Good morning, Brian. Ryan, I'm not interested in a Hoover spot cleaner. I appreciate that, though. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Terry Johnson. All right, so let's hop over now to the QNAP. So if we go to products and we go to this NDR cybersecurity appliance, this is what I'm super interested in this. It says defend against targeted ransomware. A cybersecurity appliance with NDR and PoE empowers you to proactively identify and react to malware and attacks, including targeted ransomware. Okay, so first of all, and I'm not doing this to be a smart guy, but let me ask you, given the news about QNAP's vulnerabilities, do we trust this product? Should we trust this product? Let me ask you that to begin with. Second of all, I mean, it supposedly scans the traffic, right? So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. It's a virtual machine running on there. I don't know. I mean, I want to see it, right? I want to see the software. Let's see if there's any downloads available. Because it runs as yeah, they just took me to this like generic. Let's see. Well, they've got some up-to-date firmware. Oh, so wait a minute. Is this the actual, let's see how big this download is. 252 megs. That could be the VM. That could be the VM. So, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see, you know what I mean? And then that's, you know, some people are like, well, they're a Chinese company, but I think they're in Taiwan, but we're starting to split hairs here, right? No Logic says Eero was limited on how many networks is supported at one time. Do they allow multiple now? That I don't know. You'll have to ask somebody in the comments. Pi Wozniak says, I still can't believe there are chicken and waffles lays out there. Never mind all that Eero stuff, right? I think that's hilarious. Bob says, yeah, QNAP has a lot to be desired when it comes to security, remediation, and a not-so-great track record. Michael says, wouldn't trust it. Jim says, depends on how it's actually doing it. Inspecting traffic has its own fun. Yeah, absolutely. And if you start breaking SSL certificates and inspecting or TLS certificates. How, you know, some people lose their minds when I keep calling it SSL, but yeah, there's problems with that as well. So I don't know how it's scanning, and that's why I really want to know. Jack says QNAP has the best hardware. I'll leave it at that. That's the thing, right? QNAP's hardware offering is huge, enormous. And you know, now they've got, you know, Wi-Fi mesh routers. They've got SD-WAN routers with Wi-Fi built in. They've got Wi-Fi routers now. They've got 25, 10 gig, 2.5 gig switches. I mean, their networking stuff is, in my opinion, impressive for a NAS company. Oh, do you all want to see that real quick? I know I said it earlier, and let's see here. Let's see. NTS Direct. All right, let's see if we can go to Grandstream. Over to the comments while we're waiting for this to Bob says, I've seen more YouTube videos on how to install alternate hypervisors on QNAPs than QNAP videos lately. So I have a 2U QNAP that I traded somebody some flash drives for, and we are going to do exactly that, Bob. The problem is power is stupid expensive here right now. Jeremy's in the house. Let's see. John says, not an easy question, Willie. In some cases, QNAP security issues are caused by poor configurations. I agree. And people not updating their firmware. Like, update your firmware, folks. Let's see. All right, so let's see if we scroll through the Grandstream stuff. Oh, look at this. This probably isn't supposed to be out there yet either, but it says add to cart. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, here's the custom faceplates, $7.50 a piece for the Grandstream phones, which is a pretty good price. Oh, yeah. Yep, here's the new, let's see. I'm looking for the switches, and I know they're here, or they were here. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so check this out. Now, they say out of stock because they haven't actually hit the States yet. Now, when I was doing my poking around, it looks like they've been released in Vietnam. So I don't know if they're testing them over there, and then they're going to bring them here. I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Look at this. You can buy replacement handsets. That's fantastic. All right, so this is a puck for a conference phone. Yeah, desktop wireless headphone. Interesting. It's for the GVC 3220. They had some pucks like this for their other. That's not it. All right, yeah. So check these switches out. I mean, I think this is a picture. I don't know that this is a rendering. Might be a rendering. The text on the right's got me a little sketched out there. But yeah, here it is, and look at this. It's I think this is the non-PoE, but it's an 8-port switch with all the layer 2 stuff. It's going to be $99. Let's see if we can find the PoE. That's what we should have done, right? Yeah, here it is. So here is the 8-port PoE. It's going to be $149, and this is a fully managed switch. It's got 2 SFPs. It's got the console port. And, I mean, you're going to be able to manage this, like I said, either via the routers, via gwin.cloud. So, you know what? I'm going to try that out. Kyle says, quick tip. Instead of right-clicking and selecting opening a new tab, you just click the middle mouse button. Let me try that out real quick. Not that I don't trust you. Huh. Oh, man. See, I'm learning something new every day because of all of you. That's fantastic. All right, so it did work. But anyway, yeah, so here is a 16 port switch, $175. Their prices are extremely, extremely, extremely competitive. Now, depending on what you want to do, you may have to, I'm seeing more and more recently that some people, thanks again, Kyle. I'm seeing more and more recently that people are unconverging their networks. I've run into more people that are doing separate drops just for phones. And it's meant to be, they're meant to be converged, right? So yeah, here's that new in-wall AP that I'm supposed to be getting, the GWN 7624. Let's see. So here is a 16 port PoE switch, $269. Now, I don't know. Somebody asked, what is the throughput? I don't know. I've been trying to get my hands on these. They're not even in beta here in the United States yet. And so I've been trying to get my hands on them, but they're just not available to me yet, because we will definitely be putting these through their paces. Cody says, I still have a Grandstream router and a few Wi-Fi 6 APs that I haven't opened. Got to get them tested. So if I were you, if that's a GWN 7000, we don't recommend that router any longer, Cody. You can still buy it. I'm assuming that it's backstock that's out there. But we are recommending move to their new router. One of the Achilles heels of the GWN 7000 is that you can only do one IPsec site to site. If you want hub and spoke site to site, you have to use OpenVPN site to site, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's also nowhere in the documentation. So let's see here. Back to the comments. Joe says, hey, Willie, check out Graphene OS, privacy and security Android built. Yeah, so James sent that to me, and I'm actually going to install that on my old Pixel 3 if it'll install. Steve says, is it worth the upgrade from Ubiquiti AC Lite to Unify 6 Lite? Yes. In my opinion, the Ubiquiti AC Lite is one of the worst APs that Ubiquiti came out with. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but anytime I get more than 5 or 6 devices connected on one of those lights, they just become unreliable. And the Nano HD at first was like that too. In fact, I still don't recommend the Nano HD. Do they even sell the Nano HD anymore? I don't know. But yeah, John says, Willie, you are not interested in making a video tutorial about remote VPN connection using QNAP. So, at the moment, I am not. I am really interested in VPN, and you're probably going to see a Synology video on it, because Synology lets you do multi-factor authentication, and you should be using multi-factor authentication for VPNs at this point. Insurance companies are going to start requiring it. Some already are, and the insurance side of cybersecurity is just really, really ramping up. So it's been there for a while, but it's getting worse. Yeah, Bob says 6E APs seem to be very slow to come out. Yes, unless you're looking at some of the bigger vendors. Mist has a 6, which is Juniper, and they actually, I happen to know that they actually have a live install at Rivian. Which, by the way, if you didn't see the news this morning, Rivian has recalled nearly all of its vehicles due to an issue, which is, ugh. So, yeah, Grandstream switches are still in development, and the features and design may change before release. 100%. And Brian had to say that on the webinar. Brian is my contact over there. And yeah, he did have to say that before that was over. Wi-Fi 7 has been announced, and 6E has been really slow. Yeah, that's a thing, right? They need to slow down. They need to slow down. And I do think we need a tech quartet. Thanksgiving's coming up, fellas. Maybe we can plan something around Thanksgiving to do a tech quartet stream. Maybe we do something in the evening and we're all sipping on our favorite holiday drinks, alcoholic or otherwise, adult or otherwise. So, yeah. We used to have a ton of fun. The group, we would all get together and we would laugh and laugh and laugh. And then, the pandemic really, like, we were going to expand the group, and then people we were going to expand the group with, they all kind of cut out and it's weird, right? And even Joe and Tony and I don't talk as much. We used to talk every day. Now I'm lucky if people ping me once a week. So I know I've got to, they're like, oh, I got to talk to Willie. Let's see. Kyle says, I'm still on AC Wi-Fi because of my Cisco addiction. Yeah. And the thing is, like, if you in your house, Wi-Fi 5 or AC is going to work just fine. To take advantage of the speed, and that's not really the biggest advantage of Wi-Fi 6 is not really the speed, but to take advantage of full speed, you got to be able to use larger channels, right? When you do that, causes some issues, but there's actually another protection built into Wi-Fi 6 that I'm going to do a video on that takes care of that. But it's not just because of the speed. Wi-Fi 6, there's so many other things built into the Wi-Fi 6 standard that people should forget about speed for just a minute and concentrate on it. All right, Unky Joe. Yeah, we'll be, I know you're going to be streaming here shortly. Joe says, it's not because we don't love you. Life gets in the way. It sure does. Yeah, I'm studying for my CISSP, and then I got a reminder from CWNP that my voucher expires in November. So I'm pivoting from CISSP and CISA study. Actually, I'm probably going to go sit for the CompTIA CISA because there's a beta exam. It's only $50. So if I fail a $50 beta exam, I'm not going to be upset about that. But I have to take my CWNA in the next month. So I got to get back to that book. And so, but yeah. So Unky Joe is going to be JH. I wish you wouldn't have said anything because now other people are going to watch it. There's already some really great professional videos out there about it, but BSS coloring is one of the videos that I'm working on, and you won't hear hardly any of the other consultants talk about it because they probably might have overlooked it in the Wi-Fi 6 documentation. Everybody's so concerned about the speed and the amount of devices that they're not looking at some of those finer details about how you can do channel reuse and overcrowding and things like that. So, but yes, JH, BSS coloring is one of the videos that's actually that I'm actually working on. So, Joe, this is just for you. Everybody should have a great weekend. And if you're not subscribed to Unky Joe, go over to Unky Joe's channel. He's getting ready to fire up his stream here in just a few minutes. I want to thank you all for being here on this Saturday, sharing a little bit of time with me. Like I said, if you need consulting or whatever, reach out at williehowe.com. Kyle says, I feel that I'm studying for the CCNP, and that's around $700 burned if I fail, so I'm procrastinating. I gave up on the CCNP when they added more Cisco proprietary hardware to it. I was almost done with my switching and was going to sit for that. But yeah, if you need me, reach out. Otherwise, go check out Unky Joe. I appreciate you all for being here, and I will see you in the next video. See y'all.